What's crackalackin'? It's your boy Brushmo, just in case you did not know. So we're back again, once again, for another season preview, going over the Cleveland Browns. We're going to take a look at the roster, the sketty. I'm going to give you my starters, as well as a prediction. But before we get into that, go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. And plenty of videos on the channel. We got all these season previews. If you're interested in a team, I probably got that team done. Probably. And plenty of draft content. We got video game content coming to the channel as soon as I get time to record it. And yeah, let's go ahead. Let's deep dive. I know you're here to see the Browns, so let's go into the Browns. So this team is, wow, they look scrumptious. I'm just gonna say that you return Baker Mayfield. He should have a much better season. I think in his third year he will finally kind of, I think he won't. I don't think he'll be elite, but I think he'll be right there. He'll be in the discussion. I think he'll be very good this year with OBJ and Jarvis Landry, which will be interesting to see Jarvis Landry playing on the outside, because I mean, you think Landry, you think slot underneath, maybe big play after the catch, but I don't know. He's kind of he's a slot guy. That's what he is. But they did make some effort to get some other outside guys with Donovan Peoples-Jones, which I thought was a pretty solid pick. The guy's got a lot of upside, a lot of things you like. He's pretty good on the intermediate to long routes, so he's maybe once he hits 20 yards down the field, he's a big target. Just got to solve he had some key drops there in Michigan. Not like he had good quarterback play. I think he should, in theory, probably take over as the wide receiver 3 over Rashad Higgins, but Higgins has been pretty steady in his own right. So at receiver, I mean, they could probably use more weapons, but I think they're fine. It looks like they're going to go more to a 2 tight end set, because they got 3 pretty good tight ends in Austin Hooper, David Njoku, and they drafted Harrison Bryant, who I really liked coming out of the draft. He had a really good Senior Bowl, and be interesting to see how they utilize him as a weapon. And then they come in, of course, with Nick Chubb, and then they bring back Kareem Hunt. So a scary backfield there. Nick Chubb being just a banger. He's one. He's not underrated, but I think he's pretty underrated in the pass game. But he's pretty solid. I like him a lot. He's definitely one of the better running backs, one of the best running backs in the league. And then the offensive line looks much improved with Jack Conklin probably starting there he should start there on the right side. They're going to be moving Jedrick Wills to left tackle. He's never played left tackle, so it'll be interesting. Not to say he can't play it. He's very big, very athletic, so I'm very excited to see that. And then on the interior is where they got Joel what is it, Batonio, almost got it, but he's been pretty good throughout his whole career. JC Tretter, he's coming off a pretty darn good year, one of the better pass blocking centers in football. They drafted Nick Harris, so maybe eventual replacement. He's been undersized, but he's graded out very, very well. And then here's the question. It's Wyatt Teller, who didn't have a great year. He only saw like 500 some snaps. So he's definitely the weak link on this line, assuming Jedrick Wills kind of transitions well to left tackle. So yeah, we'll see. He allowed 16 pressures over the course of, it was 557 snaps. So that'll be interesting, but this offense should be good this year. I'm very anxious to see. It looks like they will try to lean a little bit more on the run. I mean, they went ahead, they traded for Andy, who was Denver's running back? Andy Jonovic. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm kind of excited for this Browns team. They came into last year with a lot of hype. Obviously, at 6-10, didn't meet that hype, but I think they got a really good play caller in their Stefanski. So I'm very anxious. I'm excited to see this Browns team. Let's go ahead and look at the defense, because honestly, I might be more excited for the defense, because their defensive line, assuming Myles Garrett is good, is pretty scary. Olivier Vernon is actually pretty good as well. He's very I don't say underrated, underappreciated, I guess. He tends to get a lot of pressures. He just doesn't really turn those into sacks. He's pretty solid. And then you're going to have Adrian Claiborne there, who's just a very good veteran. And then on the interior, they got a wealth of guys that can rotate with. Sheldon Richardson was very good last season. It's going to be kind of a fight at the nose tackle position with Larry Ogajobi and Andrew Billings, he's actually very, I guess you would say underrated. He played very well for the Browns over the course of his career. So honestly, I could see either of those two guys started. And then one of my favorites, a guy I loved coming to the draft, I had him as a top 20 prospect, and he fell to them, I think, to the third round. But Jordan Elliott, I love Jordan Elliott. He's ideal 3-tech. So if they need to pull Richardson off, I don't think they lose anything for it. I think Elliott honestly could explode, and I'm not saying he's going to take over for Richardson, but in the future, I was very high on Jordan Elliott. So just saying, this is a very scary looking front defensive line, which is right up Stefanski's alley. And then linebacker, probably the weakest position group on the defense, because you got Mack Wilson, who a lot of people like Mack Wilson. I think he was terrible in coverage. Actually, I don't think. Matter of fact, he was terrible in coverage. Right here, he allowed what, 500? Where are you? 555 yards in coverage, and he actually wasn't even that good as a run defender, and he missed 13 tackles on 76 attempts. So he wasn't that good. Like I knew this coming into the draft. That guy was like, he puts up a mean, hard-hitting highlight reel, but that was about it. When you actually watch the game tape, it's like, I mean, he provides a lot athletically, so he may take a step forward. Then they got Taki, who only played I think 107 snaps last year. So it'll be interesting to see that. Jacob Phillips, probably be a special teamer to start. He is still a bit raw, but he does have very good athleticism. He was actually a linebacker I thought was going to break out last season at LSU. Ended up being Patrick Queen, but he's pretty good in his own right. And I mean, they don't got much after that. BJ Goodson, he's just good depth. And the secondary, Denzel Ward, one of the better young corners in all of football. Great Williams, he had his growing pains his rookie year, so he should be better this year. And I love what they did with the slot. I'm assuming Kevin Johnson's going to be their slot guy, just because he actually played very well there for the Bills last season when asked to do so. He played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games there for them in the slot. And really, he only had one bad one against Cincinnati where he allowed 49 yards. So yeah, outside of that, I mean, he was good. He was pretty darn good against New England. And so I like that. I think that's an upgrade over TJ Carey last year, who wasn't that good at all. Carl Joseph he'll bring the hammer. Fine. I hope they could utilize him the way that the Raiders just didn't know how to. This guy, he can move around the field. Again, probably I think he's just more of a box guy, but he's a very, very scary athletic box guy. This guy, he's nicknamed the Hammer for a reason. Then I love Grant Delpit. The dude was phenomenal. He was my highest ranked safety going into the draft last year or this season. Or this year. There we go. This guy, he can do any coverage you ask of him. He's very versatile. You'd be like, oh, he missed a lot of tackles. Well, he missed no yes, he missed a third of his tackles over his career, but he missed no tackles in the playoffs. And like I said, I'm cool if you're gonna be a playmaker in coverage. I'll let the tackles slip. I'll let the missed tackles slip. Matter of fact, if the first two levels can't get it done, then it chucks. But outside of that, they got pretty good depth at corner with Terrence Mitchell. He's been a very good depth piece, actually, for the bulk of his career. But he's pretty good in his own right. I like Sheldrick Redwine. He was a guy that I thought maybe have the ability to start, probably still be a special teamer at this point, but Again, still, it's a good secondary. I like the addition of AJ Green as an undrafted free agent, a guy with pretty good upside, just needs to put it a little bit together. So you got plenty of depth here. Like I said, linebacker probably the weakest position just because they're young. They're young. Matt or Wilson and Taki are both going into their second season. Phillips in his first. I mean, you got some veteran leadership with Goodson. So, but it's such a dominant looking front seven or front defensive line that I think they'll be okay. I think they'll manage. So this is a very good looking team. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule. And I just don't want to get too hyped because we saw what happened last year with the Browns. And they play in a very tough division with Bengals team that's much better with Joe Burrow. Baltimore was really good. They were 14-2 last season. Steelers get Big Ben back. They'll be better. And fortunately enough, they get to face the NFC East, which you really only got to, in my opinion, you really only got to worry about the Cowboys and the Eagles. By no means, don't sleep on the Redskins or Giants, but those are games you should win. And then you also have to face the it's the AFC South. So you got a Phillip Rivers led Colts team. Okay. Should be winnable. You got Jacksonville that's kind of in rebuild. You have the Texans coming off a really bad offseason, but still Deshaun Watson in that offense still looks pretty scary, but that's a winnable game. The other team in that division, of course, Tennessee. Tennessee was coming off probably the hottest team at the end of last season. So, yeah, it's not all bad, but kind of lucked out with the other two games. Got to face the Las Vegas Raiders, in my opinion. I think the Raiders might have a rough year this year, but we'll see. And then the other game being the Jets. So, and it's by the end of the year. So, if the first half of the year don't go well for the Jets, you can imagine they should be easy pickings at the end of the year. So, for the most part, their division's tough, but outside of that, their games are pretty winnable. But let's go ahead, let's get to the starters, and I'll give you my prediction after that. Starters, of course, you have Baker Mayfield himself, Nick Chubb, OBJ, Jarvis Landry. Then I got Hopper and Njoku because it looks like they should be going to more 2 tight end sets. If it's anything like like how Minnesota ran their offense, then Wills. I got Joe Bitonio, JC Treader, Wyatt Teller being the kind of the weak link there, and Jack Conklin coming off a career year. On the defense, Myles Garrett. I'm gonna go with Ogajobi for now, and then Sheldon Richardson, Vernon. I got Mack and Taki. I got Ward, Greedy Williams, Kevin Johnson, Carl Joseph, and Grant Delpit. A scary looking defense outside of linebacker core. Linebacker core very unproven. So let me go ahead, give it to you straight. Like I said, last year it was kind of weird with the Browns. You expected a lot out of them, and they brought you 6-10. So you coming into this season, and you kind of expect the same. It's like they should be much better. They're playing out with the chip on their shoulder. New coach. I kind of reeled back those expectations. Still got them in the playoffs, but I got them at a 9-7. I think that's pretty good. Like, for as good as this team looks, yes, they should be a 10-win or more team, but we thought that last year. So I think 9-7. It's a good place. It's a good place. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. And that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. Always much appreciated and much obliged. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.